And welcome back to North of the Broad. I'm Robyn Zimmerman, along with Nancy Thode, who is the author of Ahead of Her Time. She is the daughter of Ann Head. And we're going to learn a little bit more about your mother and about her writings and also about her relationship with Pat Conroy. So nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And
nice to be here.
I've told you I've started reading the book, but I have not finished. I'm in kind of the beginning portion with your mother's mother and grandmother and great-grandmother, and it's absolutely fascinating. Of course, Beaufort is home to you as well.
For several generations, yes.
So why is your mother, Ann Head, why was she so amazing? And why is her story so important?
Well, she was a very prolific fiction writer in the mid-20th century, 1940s, 50s, 60s. She, so far we have discovered 53 of her novelettes and short stories that were published in the magazines of the day. And she published 4 books that were read nationally and internationally and published in a number of editions. I think she really touched people because she wrote about relationships with such humor and such depth that people related. And we have a lot of fan mail that came to her during a lifetime that speaks to that. So she moved people with her writing, and she wrote about things that people weren't writing about in that era. She wrote about affairs. She wrote about women's sexual desire and as well as men's sexual desire. She wrote about out-of-wedlock pregnancy and abortion and teenage marriage.
Yes.
She wrote about affairs, and she did it in a way that such a way that she could be published. It wasn't always easy. She had to, toe the line.
It wasn't X-rated, right?
because she wrote for money. She was a single divorced woman with a child, supporting herself as a writer in that era, which was very unusual, and I think unusual for women writers today, even to be totally self-supporting.
So Nancy, talk about the relationship she had with Pat Conroy. She was his mentor.
Yes.
And he loved her dearly.
Yes. And she loved him. Jean Norris talked her into teaching a creative writing class one year at Beaufort High School for a few students, and Pat was in that class. And he was awed by her, and she was awed by him. She was amazed by his ability even as a senior in high school. And they became friends. He came over to the house. He spent a lot of time during his senior year at her house, absorbing the life of a writer. And she went to bat for him with the great Santini. She tried to talk the great Santini out of sending him to the Citadel. She thought he should go to Antioch and study creative writing and literature. She didn't get very far with that. But he wrote wonderful letters to her when he was at the Citadel, and she wrote letters back to him with they're hilariously funny and very moving, and they're in the book. Yes. He addressed her, "My darling Mrs. Morse," that was her married name at the time, and signed them, "Passionately yours, Patrick." And what he wrote in the letters is equally fun to read.
So he loved her. Do you think he was in love with her as well?
No. I mean, he was
a
kid.
Dear friend. He was a kid that had...
He was in awe. I mean, she was, as he said in his book, Cookbook, which has just been republished, by the way, he wrote a chapter on her calling her my first novelist. And I think it was thrilling for him to have the opportunity to have a relationship with a published novelist, because he was excited about reading. And Jonathan Haupt at the Pat Conroy Literary Center has said that Pat Conroy had told him at one point that if it weren't for Ann Head, he didn't think he'd become a writer.
Wow.
He might have been a teacher, he said, but
not a
I don't
writer.
think I would have become a writer.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you as a writer, is this your first book?
Yes.
And it was published in March.
Yes.
And it's been just it's been overwhelmingly received,
Yes.
from what I understand.
Yes,
Again,
yes,
ahead of her
yes.
time. And where
Yes.
can we find it?
You can find it
Here.
at the Pat Conway Literary Center. I think the bookstores in Beaufort have it. I'm hoping to do some events over in Bluffton and Hilton Head and
think in
introduce
Charleston.
people. And
Yes.
yeah, we did an event in Charleston at Buxton Books, and we did a very successful event in Connecticut as well.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
I can't wait to finish it.
Well, some people have told me they think it reads like a novel.
Okay. Nancy Thode, who is the daughter of Ann Head, and the book is Ahead of Her Time. And we'll be right back.